हेलो शिवम। हेलो।
यस।
क्या तुम्हें मेरी स्क्रीन दिखाई दे रही है?
नहीं, अभी नहीं। वेट करो।
Yes, I can see Pratik your screen.
ओके सर।
Yes, sir, me too. Visible.
Yes. So okay, we are doing NumPy, right?
यस सर।
Fine. Let me check. Just a minute. Let me check content where we were, what what we have to cover and where we are. Just give me 1 minute.
ओके सर।
Okay, minute. Yes. I'm sharing my screen. Just a minute. My screen is visible to all.
Yes, sir.
यस।
So as you can see, as per our Gantt chart, uh, Gantt chart is basically the process through which we divide our activity, course activity, through which day-to-day course activity, and accordingly we have to go. So this is a 1 week of Gantt chart in which Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Today is today is Friday. So we have to cover even Monday, Tuesday. We have to cover. We had to cover NumPy and Panda, but still we have not covered this. So we still need to cover this, and then after that we have to learn the statistic and linear algebra, which is required for the machine learning. So still we are into the Python libraries, Python basics. We have already covered libraries, but we have to do. So I want that everyone should cover this by today, so that tomorrow tomorrow we have only one session. So we will see how much we can cover statics and linear algebra. So, and then once we cover this, we have to prepare one data analysis mini project. So we'll see accordingly. So fine. Uh, so you can share your screen and start working on it. Means start working on NumPy Python library. Please share your screen. I hope you all are also doing practice in home apart from here.
यस सर।
Great. Because more you do practice on Python, right? So it will be more, you're able to swiftly working on it. You are more able to understand it. Your logic will be clear as much as you do the coding whenever and wherever you get the time. Yeah, so please go ahead. Who is presenting?
Okay, sir.
Pratik, Pratik, you are presenting today?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Please go ahead.
ओके सर। सबसे पहले स्टार्ट करने से पहले मैं नमपाई के बारे में कुछ बताना चाहूँगा। जानते हैं कि जो नमपाई होता है वो लिस्ट लिस्ट से ज़्यादा फास्टर होता है, लेकिन इनके दोनों के बीच में एग्जीक्यूशन टाइम में क्या अंतर आता है, वही मैं कोड के माध्यम से बताऊँगा। जैसा मैं एक कोड लिख रहा हूँ विदाउट यूजिंग नमपाई। इसमें मैं एग्जीक्यूशन टाइम के लिए टाइम लाइब्रेरी को इंपोर्ट करूँगा, उसके बाद इसमें बताऊँगा इसका एग्जीक्यूशन टाइम कितना होगा।
प्रतीक, आप कोड कहाँ लिख रहे हैं? कहाँ पे?
सर VS कोड में।
आपकी स्क्रीन नहीं विजिबल है।
सर
आप पूरी पूरी स्क्रीन शेयर करिए, सिर्फ इसको मत शेयर करिए।
ओके
शेयर योर
सर।
entire screen so that everyone can able to see, right? Screen is visible to all. Nishu, Shivam.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Also at your end, you can open the Visual Studio and start working parallelly.
मैंने टाइम लाइब्रेरी को इंपोर्ट किया है ताकि मैं इसका एग्जीक्यूशन टाइम देख सकूं कि ये कितनी देर में ये एग्जीक्यूट हो रहा है ये कोड। तो इसका जो टाइम आता है वो आता है हमारे पास 0.27 सेकंड, ये एक्चुअली सेकंड में आता है। अगर ये कोड मैं नमपाई का यूज करके लिखता हूँ तो ये टाइम बहुत कम आएगा। कितना कम आ रहा है, इसमें आ रहा है हमारा 0.00683 सेकेंड, और जबकि हमारे इसमें आ रहा था पहले वाले में 0.2329 सेकेंड। ये किसकी वजह से हो रहा है? क्योंकि जो हमारी मेमोरी में लिस्ट होती है वो नॉन कॉन्टिगियस मैनर में स्टोर होती है, लेकिन जो नंपाई एनडीआर को जो स्टोर करता है वो एक कंटिन्यूअस मैनर में स्टोर करता है। इसी वजह से ये जो नंपाई होती है वो इतनी फास्टर होती है। लेकिन इन दोनों की जो टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी है वो दोनों की सेम है, इसकी भी बिग ऑफ एन है और इस वाले की भी बिग ऑफ एन है, लेकिन एग्जीक्यूशन टाइम में बहुत ज़्यादा अंतर आ रहे हैं। अगर हम ये किसी भी दूसरे सिस्टम पर भी करेंगे ना तो हमारे एग्जीक्यूशन टाइम में अंतर आएगा, लेकिन जो हमारा टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी है वो सेम रहेगी, क्योंकि जो टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी होती है वो हमारी प्रायोरिटी एनालिसिस होती है, लेकिन जो एग्जीक्यूशन टाइम होता है वो हम पोस्टेरियरी एनालिसिस के आधार पर निकालते हैं।
तो प्रतीक, ये टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी दोनों की सेम है, लेकिन ये एग्जीक्यूशन टाइम दोनों के डिफरेंट है। तो हम दोनों को कैसे कोरिलेट कर सकते हैं? इसका क्या हमको क्या इसका क्या समझ में आ रहा है? इससे क्या इफेक्ट होगा या कैसे कोरिलेट कर सकते हैं
सर
इसको?
सर जो हमारा numpy का यूज करके जब हम एरे को क्रिएट करते हैं उसका
हम्म।
जो एग्जीक्यूशन होता है वो ज़्यादा फास्ट हो जाता है, क्योंकि सर वो जो मेमोरी में स्टोर कर रहा है एलिमेंट को वो एक कंटिन्यूअस मैनर में स्टोर कर रहा है, और जो लिस्ट होती है वो नॉन कंटिन्यूअस मैनर में स्टोर करती है, इसलिए वो ऑपरेशन को जो ऑपरेशन करती है वो स्लो करती है, और जो हमारा एरे होता है वो फास्टर ऑपरेशन करता है।
लेकिन ये टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी तो दोनों की सेम है,
सर
जो आप
टाइम
बता।
कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी सेम है, क्योंकि सर जो टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी निकाली जाती है वो प्रायोरिटी एनालिसिस होती है, और जो हमारा एग्जीक्यूशन टाइम होता है वो हमारे पोस्टेरियरी एनालिसिस पर डिपेंड करता है, जो कि हमारा
हम्म।
सिस्टम पर डिपेंड करता है कि हमारे सिस्टम को
ओके।
प्रोसेसर कौन सा है।
अच्छा, तो अगर प्रोसेसर अच्छा है, टेक एन
तो
एग्जांपल, अगर कोई i5 है प्रोसेसर है और कोई i3 है, तो i5 का वो ज़्यादा फास्ट एग्जीक्यूशन होगा, i3 का कम होगा।
यस
करेक्ट।
सर, एग्जीक्यूशन टाइम में अंतर आएगा सर।
ओके। ओके, फाइन।
चलो अब डाटा टाइप स्टार्ट करते हैं। डेटा टाइप इन पाइथन, there are there are following types of data types in Python: strings, integer, float, boolean, complex. String used to represent data. The text is given under quote marks, that is जैसे ABCD लिखा हुआ है ये। Integer used to represent integer numbers, that is -1, -2, -3. Float used to represent real numbers, that is 1.2, 42.42. Boolean used to represent true or false. Complex used to represent complex number, that is 1.0 plus 2.0 j etc. Now data types in NumPy. NumPy has some extra data types and refer to data types with one character, like I for integer, U for unsigned integer, etc. These are following types of character used to represent data types. Now we are discuss about checking the data type of an array. The NumPy array object has a property called dtype that returns the data type of the array. As this example, get the data type of an array object. You can see the output of this code like this. Another example, get the data type of an array containing strings. Now, creating arrays with a defined data type. We use the array function to create arrays. This function can take an optional argument, the type, that allows us to define the expected data type of the array elements. Example, create an array with data type string. जैसे हमारे एक कोड था, इसमें हमने एक एरे बनाया था जिसका हमने जो टाइप लिया था वो हमने स्ट्रिंग लिया था। तो हमने जब प्रिंट किया एरे प्रिंट हो गया, फिर उसके बाद इसका टाइप प्रिंट हो गया एस। Now create an array with data type 4-byte integers. तो हमने एक एरे क्रिएट किया 1 2 3 4, जिसका हमने डेटा टाइप i4, क्योंकि हमारा 4 बाइट्स का था ये, तो हमने इसके बाद एरे को प्रिंट किया, फिर उसके बाद इसके डेटा टाइप को प्रिंट कर दिया। Now, what if a value cannot be converted? If a type is given in which elements can't be casted, then NumPy will raise a value error. जैसे a non-integer string like a cannot be converted to integer will raise an error. जैसे हमने यहाँ पर एक array लिया है, अब उसमें हमने a ले लिया है, a हमारा इंटीजर नहीं होता, तो यहाँ पर हमारा array शो होने लगेगा like this. अब now converting data type on existing array. The best way to change the data type of an existing array is to make a copy of the array with the edgeType method. The edgeType method creates a copy of the array
प्रतीक,
and
तुम्हारी
allows
आवाज
you to
कट रही है यार. Your voice is cracking. Fix your mic, please.
Hello.
Fix it.
ठीक है। On the best way to change the data type on an existing array is to make a copy of the array with the edgeType method. The edgeType method creates a copy of array and allows you to specify the data type as a parameter. Example, change data type from float to integer by using I as parameter value. हमने इसमें क्या करा है, हमने एक फ्लोट टाइप का एरे लिया था, अब हमें इसे इंटीजर टाइप में चेंज करना है, तो हम क्या करेंगे, न्यू एरे इक्वल टू एरे डॉट एज टाइप इंटीजर। जिस डेटा टाइप में हमें चेंज करना होगा हम वही यहाँ लिख देंगे, उसका जो करेक्टर होता है वो हम यहाँ लिख देते हैं। Now change data type from float to integer by using int as parameter value. So the code of this, the output of this code is this. Change data type from integer to Boolean. Now discuss about NumPy array copy versus view. the difference between copy and view. The main difference between a copy and a view of an array is that the copy is a new array and the view is just a view of the original array. Copy. Make a copy, change the original array and display both arrays.
True and
View.
false.
Make a view, change the original array and display both arrays. Import numpy as np array equal to np डॉट array 1 2 3 4 एक array ले लिया हमने, फिर एक ये व्यू मेथड कॉल किया, उसके बाद हमने इसके जो 0 इंडेक्स पे वैल्यू थी उसे हमने 42 दे दिया, फिर एरे को प्रिंट कर दिया। तो ये आ गया हमारा। Make changes in the view. Make a view, change the view and display both arrays. Now check if array owns if data. As mentioned above, copies owns the data and views does not own the data, but how can we check this? Every NumPy array has the attribute base that returns none if the array owns the data. Otherwise, the base attribute refers to the original object. Example, print the value of the base attribute to check if an array owns its data or not. Now, shape of an array. The shape of an array is the number of elements in each dimension. Get the shape of an array. NumPy arrays have an attribute called shape that returns a tuple with each index having the number of corresponding elements. Print the shape of a 2D array. Import NumPy as np array equal to np dot array। फिर उसके बाद हमने एक लिस्ट ऑफ सॉरी एक एरे ले लिया, फिर उसके बाद हमने इसे प्रिंट कर दिया इसकी शेप को। Now create an array with 5 dimensions using ndmin, using a vector with values 1 2 3 4 and verify that last dimension has value 4. What does the shape tuple represent? Integers at every index tell a number of elements the corresponding dimension has. In the example above, at index 4 we have value 4, so we can say that fifth dimension has 4 elements. Reshaping arrays. Reshaping means changing the shape of an array. The shape of an array is the number of elements in each dimension. By reshaping, we can add or remove dimension or change number of elements in each dimension. Reshape from 1D to 2D. Convert the following 1D array with 12 element in a 2D array. Like this. इसमें हमने एक 1D array लिया था, उसे हमने चेंज करके 2D array बना दिया। Reshape from 1D to 3D. Convert the following 1D array with 12 elements into a 3D array. The outermost dimension will have 2 arrays that contains 3 arrays, each with 2 elements. Like this. Now, can we reshape into any shape? Yes, as long as the elements required for reshaping are equal in both shapes. We can reshape an 8 elements 1D array into 4 elements in 2 rows 2D array, but we cannot reshape it into a 3 elements 3 rows 2D array, as that would require 3 into 3 equal to 9 elements. Now returns copy or view. Example, check if the returned array is a copy or a view. Unknown dimension. You are allowed to have one unknown dimension, meaning that you do not have to specify an exact number for one of the dimensions in the reshape method. Pass -1 as the value and NumPy will calculate this number for you. Convert 1D array with 8 elements to 3D array with 2 into 2 elements. Now flattening the arrays. Flattening arrays means converting a multidimensional array into a 1D array. We can use reshape -1 to do this. Convert the array into a 1D array. Import NumPy as np array equal to np dot array 1 2 3 4 5 6 new array equal to array dot reshape -1 print new array. Now, iterating arrays. Iterating means going through elements one by one. As we deal with multidimensional arrays in NumPy, we can do this using basic for loop of Python. If we iterate on a 1D array, it will go through each element one by one. Example, iterate on the elements of the following 1D array. Like this. Iterating 2D arrays. In a 2D array, it will go through all the rows. Example, iterate on the elements of the 2D array like this code. हम इसमें रो बाय रो जाते हैं, पहले पहली रो पर आइटरेट करेंगे, देन सेकंड रो पे चले जाएंगे. To return the actual values, the scalars, we have to iterate the arrays in each dimension. Iterate on each scalar element of the 2D array. Iterating 3D arrays. In a 3D array, it will go through all the 2D arrays. Iterate on the elements of the following 3D array. Like this. Iterating arrays using ND iter. The function NDiter is a helping function that can be used from very basic to very advanced iterations. It solves some basic issues which we face in iteration. Let's go through it with examples. Iterating on each scalar element. In basic for loops, iterating through each scalar of an array, we need to use an for loop, which can be difficult to write for arrays with very highly dimensionality. Iterate through the following 3D array. Iterating array with different data types. We can use OPD types argument and pass it the expected data type to change the data type of elements while iterating. NumPy does not change the data type of the element in place where the element is in array. So it needs some other space to perform this action. That extra space is called buffer, and in order to enable it is editor, we can pass flags equal to buffered. Now enumerated iteration using ND-enumerate. Enumeration means mentioning sequence number of somethings one by one. Sometimes we require corresponding index of the element while iterating the ND-enumerate method can be used for those use cases. Example, enumerate on following 1D arrays elements. Enumerate on following 2D arrays elements. Now discuss about joining NumPy arrays. Joining means putting content of two or more arrays in a single array. In SQL, we join tables based on a key, whereas in NumPy, we join arrays by access. Example, join two arrays. In this code, array 1 equal to 1, 2, 3, and array 2 equal to 4, 5, 6. And after joining, the array become 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Join 2D arrays along row access 1. So first 2D array is 1, 2, 3, 4, and second 2D array is 5, 6, 7, 8. And after concatenate array 1 and array 2 uh, become array 3, 1, 2, 5, 6, 3, 4, 7, 8. Joining arrays using stack function. Stacking is same as concatenation. The only difference is that stacking is done along a new axis. We can concatenate two 1D arrays along the second axis, which would result in putting them one over the other. That is stacking. We pass a sequence of arrays that we want to join to the stack method along with the axis. If axis is not explicitly passed, it is taken as 0. Stacking along rows. NumPy provides a helper function hstack to stack along rows. Now stacking along columns. NumPy provides a helper function we stack to stack along columns. Stacking along height depth. NumPy provides a helper function we stack to stack along height which is same as depth, like this. Now we move NumPy array split. Splitting NumPy arrays. Splitting is reverse operation of joining. Joining merge multiple arrays into one and splitting breaks one array into multiple. Split the array in 3 parts. split into arrays. The return value of the arrays split method is an array containing each of the split as an array. If you split an array into 3 arrays, you can access them from the result just like any array element. Access the splitted arrays. Like this. Splitting 2D arrays. Use the same syntax when splitting 2D arrays. Use the array split method. Pass in the array you want to split and the number of splits you want to do. Example, split the 2D array into 3 2D arrays. Searching arrays. You can search an array for a certain value and return the indexes that get a match. To search an array, use the where method. Example, find the indexes where the value is 4. The example above will return a tuple array 356, which means that the value 4 is present at index 356. Find the index where the value are even. If we find the index of any value, this method is used. Find the index where the values are odd. So here the odd value is 1, 3, 5, 7, and the indexes of these values is 0 to 4, 6. So output is this. Search sorted. There is a method called search sorted, which performs a binary search in the array and returns the index where the specified value would be inserted to maintain the search order. The search sorted method is assumed to be used on sorted arrays. Find the indexes where the value 7 should be inserted. So in this array, the array is sorted and we search the index of a new element 7. So index is 1, so output is this. Example explained, the 7 should be inserted on index 1 to remain the sort order. The method starts the search from the left and returns the first index where the 7 is no longer larger than the next value. Search from the right side, by default the leftmost index is returned, but we can give side equal to right to return the rightmost index instead. Find the indexes where the value 7 should be inserted starting from the right. Multiple values. To search for more than one value, use an array with the specified values. Find the indexes where the values 2, 4, 6 and should be inserted. तो इसमें क्या होता है, हमें एक एरे दिया रहता है जो सॉर्ट ऑर्डर में होता है और जो हम नई वैल्यूज को इसमें इंसर्ट करेंगे वो इस प्रकार करते हैं ताकि हमारा जो सॉर्टिंग का ऑर्डर है वो नहीं बिगड़े। तो हमारा एक एरे 1, 3, 5, 6 दिया हुआ था और हमें नई वैल्यूज 2 4 6 इंसर्ट करनी है, तो हमें इसके लिए इंडेक्स को ढूंढना है। तो हमारे जो इंडेक्स आए हैं वो 1 2 3। Now sorting array. Sorting means putting elements in an ordered sequence. Order sequence is any sequence that has an order corresponding to elements like numeric or alphabetical, ascending or descending. The NumPy and the array object has a function called sort that will sort a specified array. As this example, तो हमने इस मेथड को कॉल किया np.sort। इसने जो हमारा एरे दिया हुआ था उसे असेंडिंग ऑर्डर में सॉर्ट कर दिया। और जो हमारी स्ट्रिंग होती है उन्हें अल्फाबेटिकली सॉर्ट करता है। सॉर्ट अ बूलियन एरे। Sorting a 2D array. If you use the sort method on a 2D array, both arrays will be sorted. Sort a 2D array. क्योंकि हमारा जो 2D array होता है वो 1D array की हेल्प से बनता है, तो इसमें दोनों 1D array को सॉर्ट कर दिया जाता है। Now filtering arrays, getting some elements out of an existing array and creating a new array out of them is called filtering. In NumPy, you filter an array using a Boolean index list. If the value at an index is true, that element is contained in the filtered array. If the value at that index is false, that element is the filtered array. Create an array from the element on index 0 and 2. Creating the filter array, hard-coded the true and false value, but the common use is to create a filter array based on condition. Example, a filter array that will return only values that higher than 42. Forty-three and 44 is higher than 42. So uh, output is 43 and 44. Now creating filter directly from array. The above example is quite a common task in NumPy, and NumPy provides a nice way to tackle it. We can directly substitute the array instead of the iterable variable in our condition, and it will work just as we expect it to. Create a filter array that will return only values higher than 42. Now discuss about NumPy random. Random number does not mean a different number every time. Random means something that cannot be predicted logically. रैंडम नंबर एक ऐसा नंबर होता है जो रैंडमली जनरेट होता है, जिसे प्रेडिक्ट नहीं किया जा सकता, लेकिन हमने इसके एल्गोरिथम को समझ लिया, जिसे हम स्यूडो रैंडम के नाम से जानते हैं, तो हम भी उस रैंडम नंबर को प्रेडिक्ट कर सकते हैं। जनरेट रैंडम नंबर। NumPy offers the random module to
प्रतीक
work
माइक को
with।
फिक्स करो यार।
यार सही लगा रखा है भाई यार। So generate a random integer from 0 to 100. तो हमें एक 0 से 100 के बीच एक रैंडम नंबर जनरेट करना था, तो उसके लिए हमने कोड लिखा, तो हमारा जो रैंडम नंबर जनरेट होकर आया वो आया 73। इसमें मैं एक चीज बताना चाहूंगा। यदि हम यहाँ ये मेथड लिख लेते हैं, तो जो इसने एक बार जनरेट कर दिया, ये बार बार वही जनरेट करता रहेगा, चेंज नहीं करेगा। ये सीड वैल्यू एक स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट वैल्यू होती है, जहाँ से हमारे रैंडम नंबर जनरेट होना स्टार्ट होंगे। अब जो इसने एक बार ये जनरेट कर दिया, इसके बाद चेंज नहीं करेगा, बार बार हमारा जो पहले नंबर जनरेट कर दिया वही रहेगा।
Yes, Pratik,
नाउ
where we are,
हेलो
how much we have covered? Hello, am I audible?
सर, इस टाइम नमपाई रैंडम चल रहा है सर।
Okay, okay. Okay, please go ahead.
ओके सर।
Continue करिए.
यस सर। जनरेट रैंडम फ्लोट। द रैंडम मॉड्यूल्स RND method returns a random float between 0 and 1. तो जो हमारा रैंड फंक्शन होता है, ये 0 और 1 के बीच रैंडमली नंबर जनरेट करता है। Generate random array. In NumPy, we work with arrays, and you can use the two methods from the above examples to make random arrays, integers. The randint method takes a size parameter where you can specify the shape of an array. Generate a 1D array containing 5 random integers from 0 to 100. यदि हमें 1D array जनरेट करना है 5 साइज का, तो हम ऐसे कर सकते हैं। Generate a 2D array with 3 rows, each row containing 5 random integers from 0 to 100. इसमें 3 रोज हैं और हमारे 5 कॉलम हैं, क्योंकि हमने साइज क्या दिया था 3,5 plots. The rand method also allows you to specify the shape of array. Generate a 1D array containing 5 random floats. Now generate random number from array. The choice method allows you to generate a random values based on an array of values. Example, return one of the values in an array. X equal to random choice 3579. तो हमें एक रैंडमली चॉइस करना है, तो हमारा जो आंसर आया वो आ गया 7. The choice method also allows you to return an array of values. Generate a 2D array that consists of the values in the array parameter. What is data distribution? Data distribution is a list of all possible values and how often each value occurs. Such lists are important when working with statistics and data science. Random distribution. A random distribution is a set of random numbers that follow a certain probability density function. We can generate random numbers based on defined probabilities using the choice method of the random module. Example, generate a 1D array containing 100 values where each value has to be 3, 5, 7, or 9. The probability for the value to be 3 is set to be 0.1, and the probability for the value to be 5 is set to be 0.3. The probability for the value to be 7 is set to be 0.6, and the probability for the value to be 9 is set to be 0. And the output like this. The sum of all probability numbers should be 1. Now random permutation. Random permutations of elements. A permutation refers to an arrangement of elements that is 3 to 1 is a permutation of 1 to 3 and vice versa. The NumPy random module provides 2 methods for this: shuffle and permutation. Shuffling arrays. Shuffle means changing arrangement of elements in place that is in the array itself. Randomly shuffle elements of following array. Generating permutation of array. Generate a random permutation of elements of following array. Seaborn module. Seaborn is a library that uses Matplotlib underneath to plot graphs. It will be used to visualize random distributions. So for Seaborn, we install Seaborn library using this command. Displots. Displots stand for distribution plot. It takes as input an array and plots a curve corresponding to the distribution of points in the array. Import Matplotlib. Import the 5-plot object to the Matplotlib module in your code using the following statement. Plotting a displot. Example. So output is this. Now plotting it this code without the histogram, this code. Like this. Normal distribution. Normal distribution. The normal distribution is one of the most important distributions. It is also called the Gaussian distribution after the German mathematician Karl Friedrich Gauss. It fits the probability distribution of many events, that is IQ scores, heartbeat. It has three parameters: log, scale, size. Example, generate a random normal distribution of size 2 into 3. Generate a random normal distribution of size 2 into 3 with mean at 1 and standard deviation of 2. So output of this code is this. Visualization of normal distribution. This code and result of this code is this. Binomial distribution. Binomial distribution is a discrete distribution. It describes the outcome of binary scenarios, that is toss of a coin. It will either be head or tails. It has three parameters: n, number of trials; p, probability of occurrence of each trial; size, the shape of the returned array. Example, given 10 trials for coin toss, generate 10 data points. So 10 data points is this. Visualization of binomial distribution. So this code of visualization of binomial distribution and the result of this. Difference between normal and binomial distribution. The main difference is that normal distribution is continuous, whereas binomial is discrete. But if there are enough data points, it will be quite similar to normal distribution with certain log and scale. So example is this, and the result of this code is this. Poisson distribution. Poisson distribution is a discrete distribution. It estimates how many times an event can happen in a specified time. That is, if someone eats twice a day, what is the probability he will eat thrice? It has two parameters: LAM, rate, or known number of occurrence, that is 2 for above problem size, the shape of the returned array. Generate a random 1 to 10 distribution for occurrence 2. Visualization of Poisson distribution. The code of visualization of Poisson distribution is this, and the result of this code is this. Uniform distribution. Used to describe probability where every event has equal chances of occurring. That is generation of random numbers. It has three parameters: low, high, size. Example, create a 2 into 3 uniform distribution sample. So Output is this. Visualization of uniform distribution. The code of visualization of uniform distribution is this, and the result is this. Logistic distribution. Logistic distribution is used to describe growth. Used extensively in machine learning in logistic regression, neural networks, etc. It has three parameter: log, scale, size. Example, draw 2 into 3 samples from a logistic distribution with mean at one end, std dev 2.0. Visualization of logistic distribution. Difference between logistic and normal distribution. Both distributions are near identical, but the logistic distribution has more area under the tails, meaning it represents more possibility of occurrence of an event further away from mean. For higher value of scale standard deviation, the normal logistic distribution are near identical apart from the peak. So example result. So it is logistic distribution and this normal distribution. Multinomial distribution. Multinomial distribution is a generalization of binomial distribution. It describes outcomes of multinomial scenarios. Unlike binomial, where scenarios must be only one of two, that is blood type of a population, dice roll outcome. It has three parameters: n, revolves size. Draw out a sample for dice roll. Now exponential distribution. Exponential distribution is used for describing time till next event, that is failure, success, etc. It has two parameters: scale, size. Example, draw out a sample for exponential distribution with 2.0 scale with 2 into 3 size. Visualization of exponential distribution. Now, relation between Poisson and exponential distribution. Poisson distributions deals with number of occurrences of an event in a time period, whereas exponential distribution deals with the time between these events. Now, chi-square distribution. A chi-square distribution is used as a basis to verify the hypothesis. It has two parameters: df degree of freedom, size, the shape of the returned array. Example, draw out a sample for chi-square distribution with degree of freedom 2 with size 2 into 3. Now visualization of chi-square distribution. Rayleigh distribution. Rayleigh distribution is used in signal processing. It has two parameters: scale, size. Example, draw out a sample for Rayleigh distribution with scale of 2 with size 2 into 3. Visualization of Rayleigh distribution. Example and result. Similarity between Rayleigh and chi-square distribution. At a unit std dev and 2 degrees of freedom Rayleigh and chi-square represent the same distributions. Pareto distribution. Pareto distribution, a distribution following Pareto law, that is 80 to 20 distribution, 20% factors for 80% outcome. It had two parameters, A, size. Example, draw out a sample for Pareto distribution with shape of 2 with size 2 into 3. So output of this code is this. Visualization of Pareto distribution, example and result. Zip distribution. Zip distributions are used to sample data based on Zipf's law. It has two parameters. A distribution parameter, size, the shape of the return array. Example, draw out a sample for Zip distribution with distributions parameter 2 with size 2 into 3. Visualization of Zip distribution. Sample 1000 points but floating only once with value less than 10 for more meaningful chart. Example and result. Now discuss about NumPy ufunc. What are ufunc? Ufuncs stands for universal functions, and they are NumPy functions that operate on the ND array. Why use ufuncs? Ufuncs are used to implement vectorization in NumPy, which is way faster than iterating over elements. They also provide broadcasting and additional methods like reduce, accumulate, etc. that are very helpful for commutation. Ufuncs also take additional argument like where they type out. What is vectorization? Converting iterative statements into a vector-based operation is called vectorization. It is faster as modern CPUs are optimized for such operations. Add the elements of two lists. List 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. List 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. One way of doing it is to iterate over both of list and then sum each element. So the code of this method is this. Iterate every list and add each element. So output is this. 4 plus 1, 5, 5 plus 2, 7, 6 plus 3, 9, 7 plus 4, 11. NumPy has a ufunc for this called add x, y that will produce the same result. With ufunc, we can use the add function. So output is same as that. How to create your own ufunc? To create your own ufunc, you have to define a function like you do with normal functions in Python. Then you add it to your NumPy ufunc library with the from pyfunc method. The from pyfunc method takes the following arguments: function inputs, outputs. Example, create your own function for addition. So for addition, we use from pyfunc function. Check if a function is a ufunc. Check the type of a function to check if it is a ufunc or not. A ufunc should return class numpy.ufunc. Example, check if a function is a ufunc. If it is a not ufunc, it will return another type, like this built-in numpy function for joining two or more arrays. Check the type of another function, concatenate. If the function is not recognized at all, it will return an error. Check the type of something that does not exist. This will produce an error. Test if the function is a ufunc in an if statement, use the numpy.ufunc value or np.ufunc if you use np as an alias of numpy. Now, simple arithmetic. You could use arithmetic operators directly between numpy arrays, but this section discusses an extension of the same where we have functions that can take any array like object, that is lists, tuples, etc. and perform arithmetic conditionally. All of the discussed arithmetic functions take a where parameter in which we can specify that condition. Addition, the add function sums the content of two arrays and return the result in a new array. Example, add the values in array 1 to the values in array 2. So some value in array 1 and some value in array 2 and add both values and output of this. Subtraction. The subtract function subtracts the values from one array with the values from another array and return the result in a new array. Example this. Multiplication. The multiply function multiplies the value from one array with the values from another array and return the result in a new array. So array 1 equal to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 and array 2 20, 21, 22, 23, 25. And after multiplication, output of this. Division. The divide function divides the values from one array with the values from another array and return the result in a new array. Example, divide the values in array 1 with the values in array 2. So 10 by 3 equal to 3.33, 20 by 5 equal to 4, 30 by 10 equal to 3, 40 by 8 equal to 5, 50 by 2 equal to 25, 60 upon 33 equal to 1.81.
Sorry to interrupt you, Pratik. Pratik, are you not executing the code in Visual Studio VS Code IDE? आप
सर वो
पे
दोनों स्क्रीन शेयर नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ मैं.
अच्छा, ऐसा क्यों? मतलब वो सिस्टम क्या इशू क्या आ रहा है? मतलब स्क्रीन, आप पूरी स्क्रीन शेयर करो ना, मतलब पूरा तो फिर वो जो भी आप करोगे तो वो तो सामने आएगा ही ना। खाली आपको स्विच करनी है स्क्रीन।
ओके सर.
जैसे आपने अभी ये खोला है, ओपन किया, अब आप स्विच कर लो अपने VS कोड में, उसमें कॉपी करके फिर वो उस पे एग्जीक्यूट करो आप कोड।
सर अब दिखाई दे रहा है?
हाँ, आपका शो हो रही स्क्रीन।
यस सर.
हाँ, हो रही है शो।
ओके सर.
बाकी बाकी सबको स्क्रीन शो हो रही है? एवरीवन इज एबल टू सी द स्क्रीन?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine.
Now, power function. The power function rises the values from the first array to the value to the power of the values of the second array and returns the result in a new array. Example. What is this? 10 to the power 3 equal to 1000. 20 to the power 5 equal to 32 lakh. 30 to the power 8 equal to this. 40 to the power 2 equal to this. And 50 to the power 33 equal to this. And यहाँ और एलिमेंट नहीं है, इसलिए 60 की पावर 0 इक्वल टू remainder. Both the mode and the remainder functions return the remainder of the values in the first array corresponding to the values in the second array and return the result in a new array. So remainder. 10 upon 3 remainder equal to 1. 20 by 7 remainder equal to 6. 30 by 9 remainder equal to 3. 40 by 8 remainder equal to 0. 50 by 2 remainder equal to 0. 60 by 33 remainder equal to 27. Now, quotient and mode. The mode function return both the quotient and the mode. Return values in two arrays. The first array contains the quotient and second array contains the mode. Returns the quotient and mode. So it is quotient and it is mode. Absolute values. Both the absolute and the AVS functions do the same absolute operation element wise, but we should use absolute to avoid confusion with Python's inbuilt math.avs. Return the quotient and mode. Now rounding decimals. There are primarily 5 ways of rounding of decimals in NumPy. Truncation, fixed rounding, floor, seal. Truncation. Remove the decimals and return the float number closest to 0. Use the trunc and fix functions. Example, truncate elements of following array. ट्रंक क्या करता है, जितने पॉइंट के बाद नंबर है उन्हें हटा देता है, जो पॉइंट से पहले इंटीजर है उन्हें आउटपुट में प्रोवाइड करता है. In example, use fix. Rounding. The round function increments preceding digit or decimal by 1 if greater than equal to 5 else do nothing. That is round of to 1 decimal point. 3.166 is 3.2. So output is 3.17. The floor function rounds off decimal to nearest lower integer. That is floor to 3.16 is 3. So the nearest integer of minus 3.166 is minus 4, and the nearest integer of 3.66 is 3. So output is minus 4 and 3. The ceil function rounds off decimal to nearest upper integer. That is ceil of 3.6166 is 4. Example, ceil the elements of following array. Output is minus 3, 4. Ufunc logs. NumPy provides functions to perform log at the base 2, e and 10. We will also explore how we can take log for any base by creating a custom ufunc. All of the log functions will place dash inf or in the elements if the log cannot be computed. Use the log2 function to perform log at the base 2. Find log at base 2 of all elements of following function. So output is 0, 1, 1.58, 2.32, 2.58, 2.80, 3.16. Log at base 10. Use the log 10 functions to perform log at the base 10. Find log at base 10 of all elements of following array. So output is this. Natural log or log at base e. Use the log function to perform log at the base e. Log at any base. NumPy does not provide any function to take log at any base, so we can use from function along with inbuilt function math.log with 2 input parameters and 1 output parameter. So base 100 output of this. Summation. What is the difference between summation and addition? Addition is done between two arguments, whereas summation happens over an element. Add the values in array 1 to the values in array 2. Array 1 equal to 1, 2, 3, array 2 equal to 1, 2, 3. So after add both array elements, the output is 2, 4, 6. And now change elements. Output is 5, 6, 7, 9. Now the values in array 1 and the values in array 2. So array 1 element equal to 1, 2, 3. Array 2 element equal to 1, 2, 3. And sum both elements equal to 12. 3 plus 2 plus 1 equal to 5. Oh, sorry, 6. And plus 1 plus 2 plus 3, 6. And 6 plus 6 equal to 12. Summation over an axis. If you specify axis equal to 1, numpy will sum the numbers in each array. Perform summation in following array over first axis. So output is this. Cumulative sum. Cumulative sum means partially adding the elements in array. That is the partial sum of 1, 2, 3, 4 would be 1, 1 plus 2, 1 plus 2 plus 3, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 equal to 1, 3, 6, 10. Perform partial sum with the sum function. Perform cumulative sum function. Perform cumulative summation in the following array. So 1 plus 2 equal to 3, and then 1 plus 2 plus 3 equal to 6. You find product. To find the product of elements in an array, use the product function. Find the product of element of this array. One into 2 into 3 into 4 equal to 24. So output is 24. Find the product of elements of two arrays. So array 1 is 1, 2, 3, 4, and the elements of array 2 are 5, 6, 7, 8. And after multiplying of elements of both arrays, and the product is
sorry Pratik, are you you have shared your screen? स्क्रीन शेयर
Yes,
करी
sir.
है क्या आपने? सबको
Sir.
दिख रही है? मुझे तो नहीं दिख रही है. Is the screen is visible to all?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Fine. Do one thing, just unshare and reshare it again. I'm not able to see it.
Okay, sir.
Pratik.
Sir, now visible.
Yes. Now it is visible. Yeah. So how much
Okay,
we have
sir.
covered till now? अभी तक
Sir,
कितना कवर कर लिया हमने?
sir, U func summations तक.
U function product तक. Okay.
Yes.
और कितना बचा हुआ है अभी? स्क्रॉल डाउन करेंगे इसको जरा.
यहीं तक है सर.
वहीं तक है. ओके. ठीक है. व्हाट वी कैन डू, वी आर ऑलरेडी, आवर टाइम इज ऑलरेडी ओवर. तो हम क्या करते हैं कि वी विल कंटिन्यू फ्रॉम टुमारो. ओके. एंड टुमारो आई एम प्लानिंग to have one quiz also. So whatever we have learned, so we will cover in that quiz. So is it okay with all? Hello?
Yes, sir.
हेलो
Yes, yes. तो कल एक क्विज रखेंगे हम लोग, एक 1 आवर का सेशन होगा, उसके बाद एक कल एक क्विज भी रखा जाएगा जो हमने पढ़ लिया है उससे रिलेटेड एक
ओके सर
स्मॉल क्विज होगी, तो वी कैन अंडरस्टैंड हाउ मच
Okay, sir.
यू ऑल आर गेटिंग। ठीक है, इट विल कवर ऑल पाइथन बेसिक, numpy, panda we have covered or not yet?
Sir,
Panda,
Panda is a short topic in
short.
W3 school. We can cover it at home also. It will just take 1 hour or less than that.
Okay, okay. So fine, for tomorrow quiz we will take only Python. Uh, just give me 1 minute. I'm getting one call. Yes, so this is what I am planning, that tomorrow we will have a class from 11 to 1. Okay, and half of the time we will go for the session and then rest, then we will plan for the quiz. Is it okay for all?
सर
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
sir.
Okay, okay, fine. And for and inform the things those who are not coming. I don't know why why uh, you people are not interested, even though you have your own self chosen this, but still you are not interested. People who are not coming here are Ashish is available, Nishu is available, Prateek is available, Ankita is not there, Shivam is there, Ayush Rao is not there, and Nishu Gautam. Nishu is there. Okay, fine. Out of out of seven, we have one, two, three, four. Three people have not means they are most of the time they are missing. They are not coming onto the call. So fine. If you people will not attend, then it is very difficult who are not attending the session. It is difficult for them at the end of the internship. So if you any one of you know them, then inform them to please come on the call, at least join some session so that they are able to know and understand the thing. Otherwise, they will not able to complete the project at the end. Okay. So for now, time is already over, and now we are wrapping the call. So we will meet tomorrow at 11 a.m. I'll post the link for tomorrow's session. Okay. Thank you all, and
Sir,
yes, yes.
sir, so from tomorrow, can we start stats or we will
No,
go
no,
for many
tomorrow.
project?
Uh, Actually, there is still so many things are still pending. Actually, NumPy we are going to complete, and Panda you are saying it's a 1 hour. It's a uh, small
Yes, sir. I have
thing.
seen the syllabus on
Mm-hmm.
W3 schools. It is a bit small amount of topics are there
Okay.
and they are bit easy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think math essential. If you get the time, then you learn at your home. Otherwise, we will take it from Monday, and then on Monday only means from next week only we will assign you one project. And by the time you all do practice of Python, okay, basic Python, advanced Python, as much as practice you can do, it is better for you. Then only we can go for this mini project. Fine.
Okay,
And
sir.
and this Panda, if you get time, then cover Panda at your home. Otherwise, I will take the session for that also. So tomorrow basically we have just we will wherever we have left today, we will continue from tomorrow from there only, and we cover the advanced Python. Then after that, we will go for one small quiz, and then in evening there will be no session tomorrow, and then we will meet on Monday. And if there is any assignment or something, I will post you or I will inform you. Okay. So thank you all for being here, and we will connect tomorrow at 11 a.m. So take care.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Happy
you, sir.
learning. Bye.